The whole Southside business community is upset. A vote to move forward with this concept tonight without the input or consideration from the Southside business community is shocking. It's actually arrogant. To close all these driveways is a business killer. I own a strip mall on the corner of Church and Pat Street, and this will kill my strip mall.
Seriously insane this idea is. A lot of friends here, business owners, you guys are crushing them. Let the people decide, not you.
Unless you're at a stoplight at 4th Avenue or Maria, you often have to dart across 4 lanes of traffic. Walking to Belch, you can feel the backwash of wind in your face as cars often pass by just a few feet away from you. I am in favor of the new road design.
Raised medians, sometimes up to 18 feet wide. I'll go somewhere else rather than deal with the congestion of this nonsense.
I've lived in this city all my life. I'm disgusted. I'm totally against this Church Street project.
Traffic does not flow smoothly if both lanes in one direction have motor vehicle traveling along them.
What about the horse people? If I go buy a horse, can I ride my horse down Church Street? You gonna make a lane for me? It sounds stupid, but you're asking for equity for everyone. You people work for us.
You're taking 56 driveways away from businesses. Any business relies on a high traffic count, so you're gonna take away a large part of my customer base. How can Plover get it so right with 4 lanes and Stevens Point get it so wrong with a 2-lane bottleneck?
It's 2 lanes and a center turn lane.
If you're going south on Business 51, you will not be able to turn into my business.
There will be sidewalks and terraces wide enough for trees and plantings.
My drive-through exit is to be eliminated. I'm concerned that my business is done. I can't accept this, guys. I just can't.
It's a business corridor. That's why it's named Business 51. A yes vote would only indicate to me that there is an ulterior thought where you want businesses to go and you want this to close down. You're gonna choke this off and you're gonna kill it. Property values and businesses are not gonna survive.
Change is hard for us. It's hard to imagine good old Division Street and Church Street changing.
I am in opposition of this business killer plan. The community and the businesses within it do not want this.
You've said multiple times that you're going to listen to what the people want. Overwhelmingly, the people don't want this. But now, we're not going to listen to the people because the people don't know what they're talking about. You can't have it both ways. I urge you to listen to the people and vote it down.
It doesn't make sense in my mind to rebuild as though there isn't I-39. This is our chance to right-size our roads. We're gonna have also chances to deal with Highway 10 coming through downtown. Right now, it's ridiculously overbuilt.
I've lived in this city for 7 years and I recently bought my house on Division Street. I see people fly past my house going 10 to 15 miles over the speed limit. So yes, I'm in big favor of the proposed changes.
What's the argument that it'll be safer? To me, that's offset by the frustration of people wanting to get somewhere and encountering slower drivers and right-hand turns. Everybody waits while that one guy makes the turn in. It's too big of a thing just for this many people to decide.
Absolutely nobody has talked about that roundabout. That just boggles my mind. There are 650 pedestrians per day that go through that intersection. That's a lot of walking back and forth. I'm totally against this.
The proposed roundabout will provide an opportunity for a greener and more pleasing gateway.
In a busy roundabout, you're constantly going like this and making split-second decisions. People are gonna get hit. Or to avoid hitting them, people are gonna get in accidents. You can't have a roundabout when there's this much pedestrian traffic.
You have a lot of teenagers. What a recipe for disaster, just boggles the mind.
I bet there's a lot of people here tonight that avoid walking along Division because it doesn't feel safe. Good way to fix this is this 4-to-3 safety conversion we're talking about tonight. This is primarily because it slows down traffic to the speed limit, reduces the crash points, and increases awareness of other roadway users.
A few years back, Mayor Gary Westcott and the City Council took $6 million and assumed ownership of Business 51, and now we're going to pay for it. This $49 million is going to come out of the taxpayers from bad decisions.
Los Angeles had an area, there were 22 businesses that closed down as a result of going from 4 to 2 lanes. The city decided we have to go back to having 4 lanes.
I did have a Stevens Point representative come into my business to talk about upgraded utilities. However, they made no mention of the road proposal.
This street belongs to all of us, not just the businesses along it.
I own my own trucking company. You don't know all the stuff that we see out there. That's still a commercial road. This is so regressive. Everybody's gonna go, oh, it's 3 minutes quicker this way. This road, this road, this road, this road, this road.
Like the gentleman that runs Hardee's, how are you gonna turn in if there's only one way to turn in there? You gotta go all the way back around?
I think there's still some tweaking that could be done.
Thank you to you all and AECOM for going through all the hard work.
My business has been there since 1962. My mom and dad lived downtown Stevens Point. She fought my dad not to buy it because it was a cow trail from the railroad tracks, the underpass, to Plover. And right now I have 2 driveways, one I share with the car wash. I would lose both of those. I don't care if it's a cow path, 4-lane, 6-lane, 2-lane. I want to be able to make a living.
I'd like to hear from all the aldermen and see what they think.
Irreversible. To turn Business 51 corridor into a 2-lane road diet with the center left turn lane. We're stuck with this road for over 50 years. So I asked the city council to take this issue to referendum. If it doesn't go to referendum, I'm gonna call on the Stevens Point City Council, and I'm sure that many citizens in this community will back me for your resignations.
It's what you want, forget the citizens. I support Kevin's ideas completely.
We need a binding referendum on Business 51.
We should trust that the Common Council studied the need, carefully reviewed the design alternatives, considered the feedback, and made what they feel is the best choice for Stevens Point.
2nd District Councilman David Shore wants to introduce rules for you guys. He thinks you're unwieldy and you're loud and you're disruptive. It's important that we have leaders taking such a strong stance on making sure people don't clap in these meetings. And that's all I had to say about that. Thank you for your time.
The motion that someone thought was so important to complain about us clapping, offensive. The whole clapping thing, my God, you kidding? This shirt probably offends you. Maybe if you spoke what the people wanted to do and voted what the people wanted to do, they'd clap for you too.
My wife said to me before I came today, why are you going to waste your time going to that meeting? And part of what I told her is I said, democracy matters. When I came to the city council meeting where we had the vote and we were told, you know what, it's great to have so many people out. But the people's voices were not heard on that day. I want to be able to go back to my wife and say, coming here, it did matter.
The engineers and city council members and staff know that it should not hurt anybody's businesses. I'm here to thank those on city council who supported the improvements.
The code of conduct, the bickering going back and forth, instead of addressing what's important to this community. This community keeps showing up here. Do the honorable thing, do the right thing, listen to your constituents.
Reid Rocheleau would be very proud of this community and its citizens for coming out and speaking. Whether you agree or disagree, this is government and the way it's supposed to work. The majority of people that I've come in contact aren't in favor of this, yet everybody here, aside from one alderperson, has been in favor of it. And that's what bothers me the most. We're not listening to the community.
I was told that, oh yes, people are going to be able to make a left turn out of your drive-through and then make the sharp right-hand turn to get back out on the highway. Don't worry, you're fine. No, I'm not fine. I offered them, I'll go to one exit if you can move my exit. You know what I was told? I'm not sure that that's possible. So I don't believe for a minute that they are going to work with any of us business people. I walked out of that meeting disgusted. I'm going to support Mr. Flatoff's position. And I can tell you this much too. I can get thousands of signatures because I have customers coming into my restaurant every day asking what the hell is going on.
Do you think it is fair for 11 people to make a decision that will affect people for years to come?
The problem I want to mention is the world oil shock scenario. If you lack the fuel to move those cars, it's all a moot point, isn't it?
I'm happy with this decision the council made. Number of friends, family, and neighbors agree that it's a dangerous street. Crossing the street is going to be safer, and it's going to be easier too.
Every time I drive down Michigan Avenue, I feel like I'm in a police training car doing a serpentine.
training. I mean, you're going from here to here to here. Now, if you're basing your traffic studies on what you made your decision on Michigan Avenue, rethink this while you can fix it. Get this Church Street right. Do a referendum if you have to.
It sounds like you're trying to be good businessmen for your constituents, but you're not businessmen, you're bureaucrats. I understand that you authorized over $1 million to be spent on a design company that has produced 2 highly contested solutions. It won't look good if you don't use one of those plans, because you have thus wasted, or so it seems, over $1 million. But it also won't look good if you do use one of those plans, because you're fully shutting down every individual who owns a business affected by this road redesign. Your best option is to go to a referendum.
And no matter how exciting or Mickey Mouse grandeur of these plans may be and how much you might think they may help, if your constituents are saying, hey, we don't want this, I reckon they don't want this.
It needs to go to referendum. We need an option to fix this.